All right, let's talk about the three-quarter head view. You know, that angle that can be so tricky to get right. Well, today, we're going to break it down into a super simple step-by-step process so you can absolutely nail it every single time. Let's dive in.
So, look, most of us get pretty comfortable drawing the front view, right? It's nice and symmetrical. And the side view, the profile, that's pretty straightforward too. But the real magic, the thing that makes a character feel alive, happens in that gap right between them.
Yeah, what about that angle in between? What happens when the head just starts to turn? That, my friends, is the three-quarter view. It's the one that gives your drawings all that depth and personality. And that's exactly what we are going to conquer today.
Okay, but before we even pick up a pencil, we need to talk about two golden rules. Seriously, if you get the why behind this stuff, the how becomes so much easier. It'll just click. Rule number one, the rule of thirds. You've probably heard of it, and for good reason. It's super simple. The face is basically split into three equal parts, from your hairline to your brow, from your brow to the bottom of your nose, and from your nose down to your chin. And here's the kicker. Those proportions stay the same no matter which way the head is facing. And rule number two is all about thinking in 3D. I want you to imagine the head isn't a flat circle, but a box, a simple box. Because in a three-quarter view, you're not just looking at it straight on. You're seeing two sides at once, right? The front and the side. This is so important because it means all the features, the eyes, the nose, they have to follow the lines of that box. They have to wrap around it. All right, got those two rules? The thirds and thinking like a box. Perfect. Now, let's actually start drawing. We're going to build this head from the ground up, starting with the simplest shapes imaginable. Okay, 4 easy steps to start. Step 1, just draw a circle. Easy enough. Step 2, now slice a bit off the side, just like that. That's going to be the side plane of the head we were just talking about. Step 3, pop an ellipse right onto that flat side you just made. And finally, step 4, inside that ellipse, draw a cross. But, and this is key, make sure that horizontal line is tilted a little. That little angle, that's our first big clue about perspective. It's a total game changer. And hey, a little pro tip for you if you want to be extra precise. That ellipse you just drew, it should kind of line up with the top third of that flat side plane. You don't have to get a ruler out or anything, but it's a really good little trick to make sure you're on the right track. Okay, look at that. We've got a basic 3D shape. Now comes the really cool part. We're going to use this shape to find all our landmarks and map out the face. So first things first, find the halfway point of that main circle. That's your brow line. See how it wraps around? Now remember that angled line we drew inside the little ellipse? Go ahead and extend that all the way across the face. Boom. That's your nose line. Now just take that distance between the brow and the nose, measure up to get the hairline, and measure down to get the chin. And just like that, you've laid out the rule of thirds in perfect 3D perspective. See how it all connects? All right, the next line is maybe the most important one of all. I want you to say it with me. The eye line. And finding it is actually super easy. The eye line is just halfway between the very top of the head and the chin. Simple as that. Then, for the mouth, you just find the halfway point between your nose line and your chin line. And there you go. With just a few simple measurements, you now know exactly where every single feature is going to go. So, our scaffolding is totally built. Look at it. All our guidelines are in place, they're following the rules, everything is where it should be. Now, for the really fun part, let's bring this person to life. Okay, 3 final steps. Let's draw that jawline. You're going to connect it from the cheek right down to the middle of that side ellipse. See how that just anchors it in place? Perfect. Now add the neck. And finally, go ahead and fill in the features. The eyes, the nose, the mouth. Put them right on those guidelines you worked so hard on. And this is what you should have. A really clean, logical structure. This isn't just a bunch of random lines, right? This is a 3D guide that tells you exactly where everything needs to go. It makes adding the details like 10 times easier.
Okay, a few quick tips to really sell this. First, notice how the nose is going to overlap the eye that's farther away. That immediately creates depth. Second, the ear lives entirely on that side plane we drew. It's not on the front of the face. Also remember that the brow line isn't a straight ruler line. It has to curve and wrap around the forehead. And honestly, the best tip of all, if you ever get stuck, just pull up a reference photo. There's no shame in that. And here it is, the final result. You can just feel that underlying structure holding everything together, can't you? The eyes are right where they belong, the jaw connects perfectly, every single feature has its place. That's what gives a drawing real form, real dimension.
Look, learning the three-quarter view is definitely a bit of a challenge at first, but I promise you, it is one of the most powerful, most useful skills you will ever learn. It's going to bring so much life to your art. So now you have the blueprint, you have the secret sauce. The only question is, what are you going to draw first?